everyone, Basic Ollie here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of This Week on iRacing. It is week 7 of Season 1, 2026, and we're going to start off this week's episode with IMSA. What a surprise. And IMSA this week, the Open, the Fixed, and the 2.4. Well, technically it's not a 2.4, but you get what I mean. That they are all going to Watkins Glen, the boot layout for this week. Now, don't need to worry about the rain at all. I think the Open has a chance of it. If I say a chance, it's going to be overcast. So track temperature is quite hard to figure out on this one. Every time I've loaded into the sim, it can be low 20s, but it could also be high 20s, depending on whether you're going to do the Open or the Fixed. Because I think the Open is going to be overcast. I think the Fixed is going to be okay. So track temperatures will vary. I'm going to say high 20 degrees for now, but just do be warned that they will be different. All right. Same with the IMSA Endurance as well. We'll have to see what happens there. But yeah, it is the 2 hour and 40-minute race this weekend, not the 6 hour, 2 hour and 2 hours and 40 minutes. It is the boot layout, so you're going to have the chicane. It is quite deadly, so do look out for that. Tyres will just be an RIP. GT3 should be fine, but LMP2s and GTPs tyre wear is pretty horrific here, so you're going to be praying for those lower track temperatures. But hopefully, fingers crossed, participation levels are a little bit better than last week. I think most people, including myself, took a little bit of a break from iRacing after Daytona 24 hour because it can take it out of you a little bit. But yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed for this one. Participation levels will be fairly decent because it's Watkins Glen. Most people like Watkins Glen, and yeah, hopefully you will have a good time at IMSA this week. Okay, up next we have the mighty Porsche Cup cars, the ever popular Porsche Cup car. It is crazy just how popular these series are now. I think they're the most popular series by quite some margin, which is just incredible. I never thought anything would really beat IMSA or the GT Sprint series, but here we are. The Porsche Cup is just crazy popular at the moment, and yeah, I've got no complaints about that at all. It is a very good and fun car. Now, talking about fun cars and potentially fun combinations, I'll let you decide on this one. We are going to go to Monza this week. Now, I have been fairly critical, I think it's fair to say, about how bad the driving standards are in the Porsche Cup series, and that's just, I don't think that's going to change because it is C licensed, so I don't really think it's going to change. It is Smurf heaven. Yeah, I don't see the standards really getting much better in this week's, round of races, to be honest, because we are going to Monza, and I have to be honest, every time we race at Monza in the Porsche Cup, it's not great. It's good fun if you survive, but the chance of death is high in this one. It really is. So I wish you all the best if you are taking part. Now, some important things to note. There's no chance of rain in the Open or the Fixed. I find sometimes with the Porsche Cup Series, the Open or the Fixed, one of them will have a chance of rain and the other one's completely dry. But this time, there's no chance of rain in either. Track temperature is looking to be about mid-20 degrees, and the in-game start time is just past 1 p.m, so in the afternoon. But yeah, not really too much talk about on this one. I will say, however, the participation levels will be through the roof once again for this. Lots of people like Monza, lots of people like the Porsche Cup. If you like your SR, might be one to avoid if you're struggling with your SR, but apart from that, if you want to go and have some fun, this might be the one for you. But do be warned, like I keep saying, there's a high chance of death in this. And yeah, if you want to protect your SR or your IR or anything like that, it might not be the one for you. Alrighty then, up next, let's talk about the GT3 Sprint, the Fixed, and the Endurance Series. So they are all heading to the Bend. This is the international layout, so not the Mahusive layout with like 20 to 30 corners. Crazy layout. I would like to see it in an official. I don't think I've seen it yet, so I would like to see it one day, but who knows. Anyways, you're going to go to the Bend this week. Now, one thing you do need to be, not concerned, but you need to know is that the track temp is, oh, it's hot. It is properly hot. I've put 50 degrees Celsius, but genuinely, every time I've loaded into the sim, it's been more than that. It's been like 52, 53, sometimes even 54 degrees Celsius. So it is hot. Now, I might be wrong here. I'm sure you'll correct me if I am in the comments, but I believe it's the summer months in Australia. So That's why it is so hot. So look after those tyres because you're going to need them. You will need them. Now, with the endurance race as well, it's going to be quite interesting to see if you can get to the hour mark and what you're going to do with... well, I say what you're going to do with tyres. You're always going to change them, but I think this will make the 3 hour quite interesting because I think pace will drop off near the end of the stint purely because of how high the track temperature is. And I reckon this track, with the corners it's got, is going to be quite high deg on the tyre, despite the fact that the GT3 tyre compound is rather hard. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. Participation level-wise, I don't know. I don't think the Bend is the most popular track in the world, although it is pretty cool with all the different layouts that it does have. I think GT3 participation levels will be okay, but it's going to struggle when you've got IMSA at Watkins Glen, and you've also got the Porsche Cup at Monza. So might be a bit of a struggle bus this week, but it could be one of those weeks where you kind of just farm SR and IR at GT Sprint. Maybe you have a bit more of a chance at fighting near the top. So who knows? But anyways, that's the GT3 stuff. No rain to worry about at all. It's going to be boiling hot, so yeah, bring your sun cream. Okay, next up, let's talk about what the GT4s and the LMP3s are doing this week. So let's talk about the Falcon Sports Car Challenge, the LMP3 Fixed, and the GT4 Fixed. So all 3 of those series are heading to Miami. You're going to be doing the Grand Prix layout, so basically the standard one. No short layouts or anything like that. Now, track temperature is going to be quite hot. It's going to be like high 30 degrees Celsius. Every time I've loaded into the sim, it's about 38, 39 degrees. You might reach 40. Who knows? The in-game start time is 12 p.m. and there's no chance of rain in any of those 3 series. So you should be okay. Now, participation level-wise, I'm not quite sure on this one. It could be quite decent, but it's a fairly new track, this one. So I always find fairly new tracks are... well, they just struggle a little bit with participation levels. So who knows? And I don't really know what the multi-class aspect of this track is going to be like with LMP3s and GT4s. In my mind, it should be okay. The last sector might be a little bit of a struggle. As long as you're overtaking the GT4s down the back straight, then you should be okay. But some of these corners might be a little bit awkward overtaking the GT4s once you're in an LMP3. So do be warned, GT4s, there might be some challenges. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers the main series I want to talk about this week. So let's move on and take a broader look at what else is also available for week 7 of this week on iRacing. Alrighty then, let's have a broader look at what iRacing has to offer this week, shall we? Let's start off with the Production Car Challenge. So this week, you can go to Sonoma Raceway, which is the sports car alternative layout, which is this one. Okay, for me, I feel like that's the most common layout of them all. You'll have to let me know in the comments, but I feel like that's the most common layout. I think that's pretty much the layout that I have always raced around when I do race on that track. Fanatec Global Challenge. Where are you off to this week? You know, to Road America. Okay, not bad. We've covered the GT4s and the LMP3s. Let's have a look at the GT3 Regionals. Asia Tour, you're going to go to Sandown. Okay, Sandown for this week. For the Asia Tour, the Americas, you are going to go to Barber Motorsport Park. And then for the European Tour, you're going to go to Motorland Aragon. Again, said it last week, very much an underrated track. If you can give it a go, please do. Yes, participation levels do kind of suck, but it is one of those underrated gems of a track. It really is good fun. Now, the Ringmeister, which is always up there on my list. I do love this series. It's a lot of fun. You're going to go in the Cadillac this week, the CTS-V race car. This car was one of the first cars I kind of raced on iRacing, and it is tremendously good fun, and it sounds great as well. So lots of V8 noises, lots of freedom. GTEs, where are you off to this week? You're going to go to, not big fan. You're going to go to Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, so the Mexican Grand Prix track for this week. The 296 Challenge, you are off to Spa. Very nice. That should be fairly decent this week. The speed you're going to get down the Kemmel Straight is going to be quite something. The MX-5s, the Advanced Series, currently at Daytona. You are going to go to Miami International Autodrome as well, and that is also the Grand Prix layout. Supercars, where are you off to this week? You're going to go to Silverstone, but it's going to be the Legacy circuit. So some would argue the good Silverstone layout. But I ain't going to say any more on that. Proto GT Challenge, you're going to go to Suzuka for this week. Now, let's go and have a look at the Formula Car stuff, shall we? Because it's always good fun to have a look at what these guys are doing. F4 Fixed, you're going to Alton Park International. Nice. Going to be tricky to overtake there, as it always is at that circuit. The Asia Tour, you're going to go to Winton Motor Raceway for this week. The Americas Tour, you are off to Lime Rock Park. And then we'll have a look at the European Tour as well. And that is going to that one. Right, next, let's talk about the F3s, because I do like the F3s quite a bit. They're going to go to Barcelona. Going to Catalonia. It's the historic layout as well, so it is the decent one. So you won't have that awful final chicane to worry about. And then the Super Formula Lights. Where are you off to this week? You're going to go to Monza as well. Okay, that should be fairly popular indeed. Indy next series as well. You're going to go to Brazilian Grand Prix. So Interlagos, that's where you are heading this week. We'll have a quick look at the IndyCar stuff. So the Oval, NXT or next series. You are, well, I say this is the road series, isn't it? I think. So yeah, you're going to go to Interlagos, and then the Oval one here. Let's have a look here for IndyCar. That's going to go to Talladega Speedway. So yes, I do like Talladega. It is a bit of a meme. It's a bit of a death trap. Lots of cautions, but I do enjoy it. It is good fun. NASCAR Class A, you're going to go to Kentucky Speedway for this week. Xfinity, you are off to Kentucky as well, but you're going to do the Legacy layout instead. And then the trucks, where are the trucks off to? You are going to go to Rockingham Speedway for this week. You're going to go to Rockingham Speedway, and I think that will be the same for the fixed as well. So yes, it will be. But yeah, I think that'll pretty much cover it for this week on iRacing. Like I said, I think Watkins Glen will be decent. Porsche Cup, a little bit skeptical about that. I think any car that goes to the Ringmeister, I do enjoy, but I'm thinking I'm going to enjoy the Cadillac quite a bit. It is a lot of fun, the Cadillac, I've got to say. Yeah, I do believe it is a free car as well, so hopefully, if you're looking for a little bit of fun, that should be fairly decent. I think the Super Formula Light Series this week will be good as well, even the F3. I do think Barcelona is a good circuit, especially in open Formula cars. I think F1 kind of has tainted it a little bit, but I think F3 is actually pretty decent there. So don't worry about the F1 stuff. I know it's boring with an F1 car, but anything else, I think it's fairly decent. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of This Week in iRacing. Hopefully you have a good week. And basically, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Hit the like if you have. Subscribe on the way out, and I will catch you for next week's episode next week. Take care. Have a good one. Ta-da.